Hello, I'm Antoine, and today I'm going to go over how to do biomes with the Voxel Plugin Pro version. So this is just the default third-person character template, and we're just going to drag a voxel world in, set everything to all the location stuff to 0, and we're going to switch to object on the generator type, and I'm going to create a new voxel graph, and I'm going to call it biome generation. And I'm just going to drag it in there. Okay, next. Just going to enlarge this window. Okay, so we want to set value. And we need a z minus. I'm going to plug this in. So these biomes, or this method of creating biomes, will work for a flat plane, or it will work for planets. It's just up to how you want to apply it. So what we need is a height splitter, and I'm just going to do 2, and we'll get probably 3 biomes out of that. So the first thing we need to do to start doing biomes is we need some sort of noise, and because this is going to be, in this video I'm going to do a 2D landscape, not a planet, so we want to use 2D noise. Let's try using Perlin. I'm going to use the fractal just in case I decide I want to add more detail or something, and I just want to plug that into height. So then, to see where we want to divide the biomes up, we want to go over here to the left and look at output ranges. So we go from negative 0.7 to 0.7. So we have 2 divisions. We will probably want like a 0.3 or negative 0.3 and a 0.3. We can mess with this later to get more of what we want, but for now I'm gonna turn off the fall-offs by just putting zeros in. Okay, now to finish hooking up the noise node, we need X and Y. Okay, then before we get into doing, like, applying different noises or anything else with the height splitter, I'm just gonna also create one that we're just gonna start with colors basically. So if this is greater than -0.3, then so I'm gonna call my biomes probably sand, forest, and deserts, forest, and tundra. So this will be the forest, because anything that is less will be snow, but we don't need to make another value for that, or another test condition for that. And then this will be tundra. Okay, and then I also want to split these into their own variables. I need to come up with their names. Forest color, tundra color, and then let's rename this to forest. And then create another one in tundra. Okay, then that's pretty much good for the setup for the biomes. So we just want to set color, and before we do that we want Or I guess that's fine. We can use switch colors for now. I'm gonna do lerp colors instead. This will give us a blend between the two areas. So we might not even end up needing these, but if you're using some sort of, you're probably gonna want these for like foliage and stuff. Anything that doesn't need the blending, it's probably more efficient to do that way than it is to be lerping between them. So then I want to grab forest, and I want to grab tundra. And then we don't need to include the desert because it's just going to assume that here we're mixing between the desert and the forest, and then this one is mixing between the previous two and the tundra. Or really between the forest and the tundra. Let's plug that in. So for the desert, let's do that. For forest, let's do that. And then tundra, we'll just make white. And we'll plug that in right here. And now we're gonna see what it looks like. So let's just redrag it, and it will, like, you can see that we still haven't changed the material. So to get it to show up the colors, we want to change to the voxel material colors. And as you can see, we have a lot of desert, but we also have patches of other things. I'm going to change a few settings just to make mine look a little better. Let's change it to like 6, 5, 4. I can turn this down quite a bit. We don't need a massive world. Okay, yeah, that's good. Turn that up to 5. Okay, so that's good for now. So because our desert's so big, it means that this wasn't far enough negative. So let's try -0.5. Actually, that might not be the issue. Between tundra and the previous. Yeah, I think I got these mixed up. So this one should be desert. And this one should be forest. That makes more sense. So we need to close these in more. Oh wait. Yeah, 0.1. We're gonna see how that looks. Yeah, as you can see, we have a better distribution now. Because of the noise we're using, it's going to look like this with basically it's kind of like a hill with this noise, so it has it goes from positive to negative on like a slope. So it's always going to end up doing this where it starts down here, and that's our farthest negative region to between -0.1 and 0.1, and then it's going to go up to all the way to 0.7. We could use like another noise node and multiply it. So if we get another 2D noise, I've used the like 2D Gavaroni, but I'm not gonna use that one now, I don't think. Oh, I guess it's fine. You really have to pay attention to the output ranges, because depending on what those are, you have to change a lot of this stuff when you're dividing your biomes up. So the closer you can keep them together, the better. 2D noise. Let's see. IQ. Yeah, that's more reasonable. It has equal ranges below and above. So we'll try this. And then I'm going to multiply them for now and see what they look like. And then let's see if we need to change. Okay, yeah, then as you can see, we need to change some stuff now. And then this is probably too extreme the other way. Apparently not. Native. That's one thing that's a little annoying. We can't just tell it to show values and see what it is. Ooh, I might be going the wrong way. Oh wait, I definitely am. Yeah, we want smaller values because we're multiplying a float by a float. Well, as you can see, it changed it a little bit. Now we have much bigger like green patches. If we want to divide that up a little more, we can do like 0.02. It doesn't have to be the same number above and below, and you can do a lot more biomes than I'm doing. You can even put biomes on top of biomes by adding other height splitters. Okay, now we're gonna mess with the fall off. So I'm just gonna put them both to 1 for now. As you can see, that was too much. That's better, but not enough. We want like 0.01. Yeah, the smaller height splitting you do with the heights, you're probably going to want a smaller fall off too. Yeah, okay. As you can see, we're getting some blending between now. It looks a little more interesting. Okay, next we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it for the value that we plug in down here. So we're going to get another noise. Let's get an IQ noise. I'm just going to grab that. And we're going to want 3 divisions here, or 3 noises or differences. They could be curves, they can be noise nodes, they could be something else, like texture, samples, just something that will make the actual geometry different. So let's see. I'll do a 2D noise creator, 2D. We can do a cubic. Okay, and then I'm just going to plug X and Y into each of them. I'm going to change the seeds on all of them, just so we don't get the same, so we have more variety basically. Okay, now with all of those changed, we want some lerps. We want the float lerp. And we want 2 of those. And we're just going to do the same thing we did up above. So I'm just going to copy those. And plug them in. So the cubic noise can be our snow. The critter noise will be our forest. And the IQ noise will be a desert. And then we just want to drag that and plug it into the minus right there. And we may need to change this to make it look better, but for now we're just going to see what happens. We have some slight variety, but not enough. I'm going to increase the strength of the noise by multiplying it. And I'm just going to do it on the individual noise instead of all of it, because maybe we want different strengths applied to each one. Like if you have sand dunes, you don't want massive mountains in them. So let's try for there, do something like 10 and 25. And this is probably very extreme, but we'll find out. Yeah, so as you can see, our forest is coming through, but the others aren't a ton. Okay, so to fix the desert, I just turned my desert frequency down to 0.02, and that's good. Turn the noise down to 10 instead. Turn that one down to 10, but the cubic noise isn't interesting enough. I'm going to change it to cellular. And then with all of that, okay, then as you can see, the cellular noise looks like this. Personally, I'm going to turn my normals down to flat normal. I just like to look better for this. But the cellular noise creates cells, and they have like a major division between them, so this is how it's supposed to look over here. Might want to make the forest bigger, so I'm going to go do that. That's slightly bigger. But basically, if your slopes, or if your fall-offs aren't big enough, you have steeper edges between the noise types. So if we want to decrease or increase the slope and decrease the steepness, we just turn that up a little bit. And we have slightly less steep slopes. So as you can see, we have lots of different biomes here. To set up the foliage for this, we would want stuff like this, and then just based on where the noise is at, we would tell it to, or I guess I don't have it set up here. I'll make another tutorial on that, but we're going to create custom outputs, and we'll set those custom outputs based on these true or false conditions. And that's how we'll add foliage to our biomes. We can also apply materials that way if we want to do that instead of color.